A big difficulty in education right now is the teacher shortage. Roughly 25% of Nebraska public schools do not have a world language teacher on staff, and that number rises to 50% when you look at our smallest schools. Rural school districts across the state are being hit the hardest.
Going back about 3 years, we had 2 Spanish educators in our school. One joined her husband, a superintendent in a nearby district, and the other joined her husband out in Iowa, and that left us with no foreign language educators. We did a lot of recruiting, and for 2 years we were unable to identify anybody. And so without distance learning, we would either have to cut the program or provide some sort of online program which lacks the teacher interaction on a daily basis. I was a little bit skeptical initially. When I think about distance learning just through my own lens, I think about one-directional instruction, students learning from a television monitor, just having lessons presented to them but lack of interaction. That was my perception going in.
Once upon a time we had a classroom where we wheeled a carded TV into there and kids could watch what was happening on the other end wherever that was. So distance learning now looks a lot different. We actually have an interactive classroom where there's a large screen TV at the front of the room that's mounted, and we have speakers everywhere, and it's an interactive process so students can talk both directions with the instructor that's on the screen, and it's really improved in effectiveness for sure over the years.
Yeah, I was blown away. The instructors do an amazing job of having two-way interaction with students. I'm amazed as students walk into the classroom that they know their names and they greet them by name. It far exceeded my expectations.
My name is Riley McClay. I'm 17 and I'm a junior at Gothenburg Public Schools. I'm taking Spanish 3 and 4 through distance learning. I was a little skeptical about it because it's over video, but I think as we went through, it's fine because it just feels normal, like she's still there.
So I was kind of concerned that it would feel boxed in, but it didn't feel that way, especially when you have the technology that you can see the kids and hear the kids in real time. You do get that real-time interaction with a physical person.
It doesn't look traditional, it doesn't look the same, but just because it's not the same as it used to be, doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad thing. The one thing that you can't discount is you're still connecting with the kids, you're still there with the kids, even if it's over a long distance. You're still forging the same relationships.
So you might be thinking, how is it possible to leave a group of high school students in a classroom with just a TV screen and a person on the other side? But the reality is we actually have proctors in the classroom, and those proctors are very high quality individuals that are there with students' best interests at heart. So the proctor in the classroom has the responsibility of managing behaviors, making sure that students are on task and paying attention as much as possible, and then also if they have questions, they can ask the proctors those questions and interact in that way as well. The relationships that those teachers have built with our students has empowered them to be very successful.
Our students share with us that they enjoy our classes, they're motivated to learn, they feel comfortable, confident that they can learn, and they really value learning the language.
I think it's really fun, and I like that our teacher can have fun with us and we don't just have to work through a workbook the entire time. I do feel like I'm getting a good quality education because she's actually teaching us stuff, and it's different from what you would think you should be learning in a Spanish class, because we're learning stuff that we would actually be using instead of just the perfect grammar and the perfect tenses and everything. We're learning how to have a conversation, how to ask for things. So we have so much fun in our class because she's basically here, she's just over the screen, so she can still have fun with us, and we still are learning things. At first I was a little skeptical and I thought it was going to be really hard, but then it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and I learned a lot more than I thought was going to be possible through distance learning.
I think it's just as good. I think we learn just as much. It gives us more diversity with the classes, it gives us more experiences.
We do a mix of presentation, writing, speaking, and listening, but I like how it's all very structured out. We'll do online games, and then we'll also do activities on the board. She comes once every semester, so we get to bond with her, and I know a lot about Miss Garcia. When we come, we do have fun and stuff. We all dressed up in llama pajamas because she is obsessed with llamas. She wants to know about us too. It's not just a one-sided teaching environment, but We interact with each other, and she like asked us to see our prom pictures this weekend, and so it's still a bond. It's not just I'm talking to you.
Setting up those opportunities is going to stem from reaching superintendents and school leaders, elevating awareness within our school leadership that this is a viable option, not replacing an in-person teacher, but rather ensuring that those experiences exist where they otherwise might not be available.
I would just encourage people that if they're having a hard time filling a position, to really look into this option and see, is this something that we think could be feasible in this situation.